When you asked people what route they wanted to see him run 8 the most, many would have said the Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line. Run 8 has finally followed up on that request. So let's all go and see if we can make it around the curve in version 3. Run 8 Studios' NS Pittsburgh East Sub covers approximately 61 miles of the Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line between Tyrone, Pennsylvania and Johnstown, Pennsylvania. The line was originally built by the Pennsylvania Railroad in the 1850s as a route over the Allegheny Mountains to the western part of the United States. Run 8's version of the route covers the Helper District over the mountain, which includes the world-famous Horseshoe Curve located at Katanning Gap. The route also includes the entire Cove Secondary to Hollidaysburg, the beginning of the South Fork Secondary, and sections of connecting railroads, such as the R.J. Corman at Crescent, the Nittany and Bald Eagle Railroad at Tyrone, and the Conemaugh and Blacklick Railroad and the CSX at Johnstown. Towards the east end of the route is Rose Yard, where inbound trains perform crew changes and attach their helpers if they need them. Here in Altoona is also where you will find the Juniata Locomotive Shop, where the Pennsylvania Railroad once built its fleet of massive steam locomotives. Nowadays, NS uses the works as a heavy repair and rebuild facility. The Union Tank Car Company also shares the property to build and repair rail cars in their fleet. The track layout of the main line is spot on to the real world. Users who have run the route both in the sim and in real life say the trains handle exactly how their real world counterparts would. That's not an easy feat to achieve and is quite impressive for a simulator. The route is set in the mid-2010s, before PSR and the destruction of the position lights, so if you wanted to go retro and use Conrail rolling stock, it wouldn't feel completely out of place here. There is a ton of traffic that traverses this line. It's even possible to see 3 different trains all within 15 minutes of each other while rail fanning in the area. The diversity in traffic on this route is also unbeatable. There's even a daily Amtrak service known as the Pennsylvanian, making stops at Tyrone, Altoona, and Johnstown. With the main line being so short, it is possible to traverse the entire route in less than 3 hours if you do not have any stops and you're a high priority train. To many people this is unappealing, but in that 60 miles you can still have an amazing experience, especially if you're running a train with manned helpers. With a large chunk of the railroad being single-directional traffic as well, this can also make the route a nice challenge to dispatch and keep those priority trains moving. I must admit, I do have a little bit of a bias since I both railfanned and have taken trains through this territory in real life. I have not gone around the curve, but I have taken trains up to works in Altoona. This route does have issues that need to be addressed, and I would not be a reputable reviewer if I did not bring them up. We'll start with the small issues. Run 8 does not have proper working cab signals. For a simulator that does such a good job of providing a realistic railroading experience, I was hoping they'd be available for the Pittsburgh line. The route really doesn't have any major bugs. There are a few instances where signals display improper signal indication for their locations. Also, some of the interlockings are either missing signals, power switches, or both. The main line tracks are laid very well, but then when you go to the Cove Secondary and look closely, the industries along the line are in the incorrect locations for where they are in real life. The biggest problem I have with this route is its scenery. While for the most part you really feel like you're on the Pittsburgh line, there are key points of interest that are either missing scenery or have no scenery at all. With that said, there are some new assets that are spot on and just like the real life counterparts. And then there's others that are just questionable at best. I'm not saying that every building in Altoona has to be exact brick for brick, but imagine if someone recreated New York City without the Empire State Building. I understand that Run 8 is a small team, and I'm not saying that the route looks horrible, but they have shown us that they can do better than this. Hopefully we get some scenery updates in the future to give the Pittsburgh line the look that she truly deserves. I know this route got a lot of backlash when it first came out for its size and its scenery issues. However, I think that the people that disowned the route immediately were a little overreactive. It could have had more mileage, the scenery could be better, but I do not regret the $40 I paid for this route. Tackling the Allegheny Mountains is a marvelous adventure, and Run 8's multiplayer only amplifies the experience. I'm going to give you guys the all clear to go ahead and pick up the NS Pittsburgh East Sub for Run 8. Don't keep those rail fans at the horseshoe curve waiting. I'm going to give this route a final score of 80%. Until next time, switches lined, double checked, highball.